Fox News alert to Columbia University, New York City, where police have arrived en masse. A couple of big buses just arrived a short time ago to remove protesters who have been protesting there for 2 days now, specifically from the lawn areas. Here's the big correction buses arriving there. Obviously, CB Cotton, this is okay. We do not have her shot up at the moment. But this is just what we saw a short time ago as the protests there got to a point where the NYPD, Jillian, had to bring in officers to start to remove those protesters from the campus. It is just amazing that this is just happening all over the country now, Jillian.
It is, Sandra. It's also pretty shocking to see as somebody who, attended Columbia University a long time ago now. I graduated in 2006. There was no overt anti-Semitism on the campus that I ever experienced. There was no undertones that I was aware of either at the time. It was not a topic of discussion that we had on a daily basis among the undergraduate population. It's really sad to see the state that the university leadership is in, to see the state that the student body is in, warring with Israeli and Jewish students. And I have to mention, Sandra, there's a large contingency of Jewish students at Columbia and Barnard in particular. The university goes out of its way to recruit Jewish students. They are a big, active part of campus life. It's sort of extra tragic to see this unfolding there.
Yeah, CB Cotton is on the scene there. She's got the latest from Columbia on what is happening right now. CB.
Hi, Sandra. Well, there had been several warnings issued to these students who were camped out in what they called a Gaza Solidarity Encampment. But Columbia University president, she released a statement moments ago saying that she finally authorized the NYPD to come in and sweep the premises. She said that, she reiterated multiple warnings had been issued, and she also said multiple campus policies had been violated by these students' actions. And so sure enough, we are seeing students starting to be, that are getting removed from the premises right now. I saw that we had some video up earlier showing NYPD buses, which had been brought in to presumably place those students on as they're taken away from the scene. We're not allowed on school grounds, so we're not really able to watch some of this unfold from our vantage point. But if I step out of the way, I'm going to have our photojournalist pull in. From where we're positioned at right now on campus, this is where we have seen a lot of activity going on in real time. These student protesters on campus for the past 24 hours have been encouraging people to come here outside the campus's main gates to support their protest. And we've sort of seen people gather here by the hour. It looks like some of the crowd has started to disperse out here. Perhaps they saw what was going on campus, and that prompted a bit of fear. But again, student protesters encouraging people to rally with them outside the campus, bring Palestinian scarves, bring drums, blow horns, and kind of echo and amplify their message. I would say, from how I've been monitoring this protest, there have been hallmark characteristics of social justice activism that we see on college universities across the country. Last night, several of the students who were at the encampment were posting on social media what they were doing. They said they were streaming movies about Palestinians. They were streaming movies about Israel, talking about the Israel-Hamas war. And these students, again, were calling on the university to divest from companies with ties to Israel, several of them carrying signs, wearing shirts, accusing the university of being complicit in what they call a genocide against the Palestinian people. This morning, some of the social justice activists took to social media to say they were planning to stay out here in the encampment for another 24 hours. Obviously, those plans have changed. But Sandra, we've been talking to some Jewish students about how this has been impacting them Obviously, several of them are very upset. They say these have been common sights since the start of the Israel-Hamas war. They are upset. They say they're scared and they're fearful. And we've tried to talk to students who have a pro-Palestinian stance, but every time we try to approach them and ask them for more details on their viewpoints, they decline to speak with us. So we haven't had that opportunity yet. But again, what we're watching right now unfold on campus, again, we can't see it from our vantage point, but from videos that are being shared with us from inside the campus, we can see that students are being removed from this encampment. They had pitched more than 60 tents, and their goal was to make some noise out here.
Yeah. Can I jump in here? As we're watching these live pictures, are these arrests being made?
We're told that the students are being detained and removed from campus. What we've noticed with these protests is that you'll have several people who are detained, but at the end, when we communicate with police about what took place, they say several of them end up getting released, and only some of them are booked on charges. So we'll have to see what develops from this situation. But yes, students right now on campus, we're being told, are being detained by officers. Whether they'll face any charges has yet to be seen. But Sandra, if I may point out, there was just a bus circling campus with a big LED screen calling for the president of Columbia University to step down. And of course, we know that call follows her Capitol Hill testimony yesterday. The situation, the events of the past 48 hours have really shaken up this campus. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, and the Barnard president, as you just mentioned, did put out a letter about the encampments notifying the public that these students were asked to leave that encampment and to get off of the lawn. They did not. They chose to stay. And there are repercussions for that now. Those that chose to remain in the encampment face interim suspension. And CB, as we do continue to watch these students removed by the NYPD, it is being reported that one of the 3 students that is facing consequences is the daughter of U.S. Rep. Ilhan Omar. We're working to independently confirm that ourselves, but she put that out there on an account that, again, we're working to independently confirm to make sure that is indeed her. But there are many reports that she is one of the suspended students that would not leave that encampment after the university asked her to do so.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.